This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
We begin tonight in storm alert. We could see severe weather over the next few hours. Hail, high winds, tornadoes, all possible. In fact, we are in a tornado watch until midnight on Wednesday for most of the viewing area. And some of those storms could hit in the middle of the night, especially in the Metro East. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. A tornado watch that he's talking about just came in. We also have power outages in Illinois. Almost 3,000 people don't have power right now. In Missouri, it's about 3,500. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
And most of those outages aren't anywhere near St. Louis. The storms so far have stayed well to our north and west. There we are looking around the around Lake of the Ozarks here from Cole Camp down towards Chalk Level and down towards southwest Missouri. That action's actually pushing towards the Lake of the Ozarks region at this point, and that's been a strong part of the line. We've also seen another strong section of the line farther to the north. So what are we talking about? We have severe threats this evening, severe storms. It's going to be a line or a broken line of thunderstorms. Timing 7 p.m. north and west of St. Louis, we think at the earliest, until about 2 a.m. The threats include strong winds, and we may be talking 60, 70, perhaps even higher mile-per-hour gusts. Hail could be up to the size of perhaps ping pong balls or golf balls, maybe a little larger. And there's still the potential for a tornado or two. Now, the new watch box hasn't plotted in here yet, but it does include most of the area. North of us, you have one batch of really intense storms over Iowa, and then this batch that's coming in here right through the Ozarks. That's going to be the one we'll be watching as it gets closer to St. Louis. The new watch being issued as we speak in St. Louis is a part of that as we go towards midnight. We'll track these out further, give you some more information in just a few minutes, Ann.
You can get the Weather First forecast anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355.
A hearing began today in a case that could set a convicted murderer free. Christopher Dunn has been in prison for more than 3 decades, but multiple witnesses who put him at the scene of the crime have now recanted their testimony. 5 on your side's Holden Kerwicki was in the courtroom today. And so, Holden, what does this case boil down to?
Well, Mike, the attorneys representing Christopher Dunn have focused on the ever-shifting testimony of those 2 men who initially placed Dunn at the scene. However, multiple affidavits and audio recordings played in court today show the men admitting that they didn't know who the gunman was and that they may have pinned the crime on Dunn because they believe that he was in a rival gang.
May 18th, 1990, 3 teens were sitting on the porch of a North City home when someone stepped out of the shadows and shot 15-year-old Rico Rogers.
He was shot in the back of the head while hanging out on his front porch with 2 of his friends, Michael Davis and Demoris Stepp.
In 1991, Christopher Dunn was convicted of killing Rogers based largely off Davis and Stepp's testimony.
Immediately, Demoris Stepp exclaimed, "Trap," or Christopher Dunn is shooting at us.
While Dunn has maintained his innocence over the past 30-plus years, Stepp and Davis have since changed their story.
The only thing I saw was the fire coming from the gun.
No, actually, we didn't see him shoot. We didn't know who the shooter was. We just know somebody fired off some shots. It could have been anybody.
He just had blue on that day, and everybody assumed that he was the Crip.
Based off of that testimony, St. Louis prosecuting attorney Gabe Gore called for the charges against Dunn to be dismissed.
No physical evidence links Christopher Dunn. Instead, he was convicted solely on the basis of recanted testimony.
However, multiple witnesses testified they believe someone known to Rogers may have pulled the trigger.
Rico's mother, boyfriend, jumped her, and we had ended up jumping him.
Did you or Demoris ever tell the police or the prosecutor that Rico had shot a man the day before?
Yes.
One of the witnesses to that shooting who has repeatedly changed his story is Demoris Stepp. He is expected to take the stand tomorrow, though both the defense and the prosecution admit they don't know which story he is going to testify to. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
St. Louis is falling behind schedule on trash pickups. 15 garbage truck drivers called out sick for a second straight day. Mayor Tashara Jones' office met with their union today and plans to investigate why the workers didn't show up. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live in South City with new details for us. Mark.
And garbage truck drivers tell me that they're often overworked, underpaid, and have to work in hot trucks, sometimes with no AC. Others complain of favoritism in the department, racism, they say, in routing priorities, and sometimes harassment against other women in that workplace. They didn't speak on camera today for fear of retaliation, but you add it all up, throw in these sights and smells, and, well, it's enough to make someone sick.
For 2 days in a row now, 1/3 of the city's trash truck drivers called in sick. Their diagnosis?
They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They have been disrespected.
Alderman Rasheen Aldridge defended the workers for taking what the mayor's office is calling an unauthorized work stoppage.
If you continue to just go with the get along, these problems will continue to exist. And the last thing we want to happen is actually lose more employees. So if this outcry calls and shines a light on something that needs to be improved in the city of St. Louis, I think it's worth it.
At the streets department, they're struggling to keep up. Workers finished fewer than 40% of scheduled routes Monday.
Yesterday, we had 21 routes completed.
Now focused on collecting garbage from roll carts before dumpsters.
They fill up faster.
We took some of the workers' concerns to Streets Department Director Bethany Williams.
Is the air conditioning working in the trucks?
Most of our trucks, the air conditioning is working from my knowledge. If they're not, that's something with maintenance that I can get with.
The abrupt work stoppage hits a city already struggling to fill vacant jobs.
Even if we were fully staffed, so many of our garbage trucks are beyond their lifespan. And so, it's demoralizing when you show up and you got a trash truck that doesn't work.
Alderwoman Kara Spencer chairs the Budget and Public Employees Committee.
This is my personal mission. As the chair of budget, I am going to be fighting to fully fund the refuse department.
Now, more than 1 year after Mayor Jones told us this,
our trash is getting picked up on a frequent basis.
Her former rival, who ran against her in the last mayor's race, is sharpening her criticism.
The point of city government is very simple. Picking up the trash, doing the basics is a key component to keeping residents, something that the city is right now not doing a very good job of.
One question everyone wants to know, how long could this work stoppage last? Today, the Streets Department predicted they hope to resolve it by the end of this week, but that comes right up against Memorial Day weekend when everyone's going to be looking for somewhere to put their trash. And I'll tell you, if you need a reminder of how much we owe our garbage truck drivers, come take a whiff of this. Mark Maxwell in South City, drop 5 on your side.
As more storms roll in tonight, Sullivan's still trying to heal the cleanup that still needs to be done weeks after a tornado tore through the town.
And a beloved Belleville bike race is getting the boot. How the tradition lost its traction.